What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Chicago Bulls versus Detroit Pistons game reaction. The Chicago Bulls, I believe, had their biggest win in the entire season for them, which is great to see. Obviously, it came against a Detroit Pistons side that does have a little bit of injuries, is not at its fully best. And at the end of the day, you take what you're given in this league. Unfortunately, they're not at their best. You'd like to verse them at their best, but the Bulls walk away with, in my opinion, a very important victory, knowing the schedule that we have coming up for the Chicago Bulls. Every win is important, and this one is very important, and the way that we played and the minutes and the rest that these guys had at the end of the game is very important as well. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls game today against the Pistons. Who was your player of the game, overall, the bench production, everything of the sorts? What do you think about the game today? I don't have all the stats with me at the moment. I'm not going to be reading out every single stat for every single player. I'm just going to take the key takeaways of the game and then give my player of the game towards the end. Obviously, the first thing that I need to say is that this team performed very well, and I think that's obviously the main thing to take away. This team, after the first quarter, was extremely positive. Again, we had a very slow start, which has been a common theme for the Bulls all season, and it seems to be continuing throughout this course and this stretch of games. Bad starts to games has affected the Chicago Bulls, and in the end, it has come back, and it is, in the end, didn't hurt us per se, but it's definitely something that we need to look at and work on. As soon as Ayo came in, as soon as Troy Brown Jr. came in, from that late first quarter to the second quarter, all the way to the fourth quarter, we were truly dominant in the game, and we took advantage of a young, rebuilding Detroit Pistons team that did have a back-to-back and be a very good Utah Jazz team. So you got to give all respect for them in the world. But at the end of the day, we did what we were supposed to do. We walked into home court. We defeated the Detroit Pistons. We walked away with a win, knowing what we have coming up. Looking at, I guess, not necessarily the stats, some of the things that players did that really impressed me. I want to talk about Zach LaVine real quick, ladies and gentlemen, because in the end, he didn't have the best stat line you could possibly ask for from him. I believe he only had 10 points, 9 rebounds or 7 rebounds and 9 assists. The numbers may have been turned around a little bit. He got a steal as well. But Zach LaVine, of course, did he drop 27 points? No, he did not. But I truly thought this game was much better from Zach LaVine than the game in the last time out against the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, he didn't score 27 points. He only scored 10, one of the lower scoring numbers on the team, actually. But he got other people involved. He took the necessary shots that were acquired to him. He got to the foul line. No dumb, unnecessary shots. I think, obviously, that last game was drilled into him by either the coaching staff or by some players to try and get other people involved and score only when you need to, score when the opportunity presents itself, not necessarily forcing up stupid shots every single play down the stretch, especially in second halves of games. And he definitely, I think, took that piece of advice with him, and that's great to see. And he had a really good game, in my opinion, as well. We saw a lot in terms of foul calls as well by the refs, and it's one of those games where it seemed like, especially in the second quarter, everything didn't go our way. We were the ones getting fouled left, right, and center. The Detroit Pistons were trying to get to the foul line. You could clearly see their motivation was to attack the paint, attack our guards, attack our forwards, attack our center. And in the end, it worked for them at times. They got to the foul line, they hit a lot of their free throws, and it worked really well for them. And also for the Chicago Bulls, again, knowing that we had one of our biggest wins in the season, and it came after a really bad loss against the Dallas Mavericks, goes to show that people shouldn't be panicking after one loss. That's very important to say as well. The Dallas Mavericks loss was a tough one to swallow. It ended a win streak, a very good win streak. But at the end of the day, things do happen. Bulls came out lackluster and slow. We didn't win that game. Then again, the next time out, we came home, we returned. We have a tough week ahead of us, and we ended up beating a very, I guess, not a great Detroit Pistons side, but it's a sign that we shouldn't be panicking if the Bulls lose a game here and there. I also want to talk about players like Ayo Dosunmu, ladies and gentlemen. He's making me more and more proud of him every single game. His defensive intensity, again, he was guarding the best player again as soon as he stepped on the court. Him and Lonzo Ball are really starting to form a great connection on the defensive end, and it almost seems like when one of them is on the court and the other one is off, when they rotate and when they end up swapping each other out, you have Ayo on as a defender, and it's almost like you don't lose a step. That's how good he's been in recent times on the defensive end. He had a really good, his job on Cade Cunningham today. First time we saw him this season. We versed the Pistons, I believe. This is the third time we versed them. We saw Cade Cunningham once, and Again, he's a good player. He's going to end up continuing to learn, have a great career ahead of him. But Ayo definitely did end up having a good matchup on him, and he made Cade Cunningham quiet, I guess you could say. So really good to see. That's their best player that was kept quiet. Again, no Jeremy Grant for them, which again, many people want him on the Bulls. So that's obviously shows how important he is to their team as well. Regardless of that fact, Ayo's defense has been absolutely sensational, and it's made missing Caruso not as big as a problem. Of course, we'd love to see him back, but Ayo is definitely stepping in that category. The bench production in general has been absolutely phenomenal. Kobe White dropped 13 points today as well. Obviously, you had Ayo, the great defense, ended up scoring a good amount of points as well. Troy Brown Jr., I believe, had 7 steals on the night for the Chicago Bulls, which is absolutely fantastic. The defense and the bench of this defense as well showed up in great numbers, and that's great to see. Lonzo Ball had a really good game as well. In my opinion, Lonzo Ball is probably my player of the game, and I'll get to that later. DeMar DeRozan, again, was really efficient in this game, and he got a lot of numbers. He did a lot of things. Vucevic in the second half. I love Vucevic's second half for a number of reasons. One, he took his time, wasn't forcing anything, and he got to the post, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys remember the last time we versed the Detroit Pistons, I know it was a very long time ago, Stewart, again, who played in this game and had a very dominant first half against Vucevic. Again, he was really strong in the first time out against them, or I guess the second time out against them. And then Vucevic took that really personal, and he ended up having a fantastic second half of the game in that one. Literally a mirrored performance, I would say, from Nikola Vucevic today. He had a great second half, got to the post, got into the paint, took shots in the restricted area. That's where all of his points came from for the most part. He did a fantastic job in the second half of that game. First half had a lot left to be desired. It wasn't terrific, but in the end, we did walk away with the win, and Vucevic played a big part of that in the second half. I think that's really all I have to say on the situation, ladies and gentlemen. My player of the game is Lonzo Ball. I think that's fair to say. He had a terrific stat line. He was great defensively. He made a lot of threes. He got on the glass. And I thought when he wasn't playing, there were some struggled moments for the Chicago Bulls. So in my opinion, through everybody from Zach LaVine to DeMar to Vucevic, they all had pretty decent games in my eyes. I think Lonzo was the standout for me today. The Bulls' record is 27-11. That's a great record. Of course, we still remain first in the East. And again, the challenges will keep on coming with our next game against the Brooklyn Nets. A really tough opponent, someone we should not take lightly whatsoever. And they're going to have Kyrie Irving for that game as well. So we're going to see the best out of the Brooklyn Nets, and we're going to see a majority of the best out of the Chicago Bulls as well. This is a matchup we're all excited about. It's going to happen tomorrow, and let's wait and see how the Bulls go. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.